'cause you're riding on the mountain of your own free will. And you're zipping in a flash on a daring dash down a waterfall so rapid that you go split splash.
Splash Mountain.
Zippity-doo-dah.
Splash Mountain.
Zippity-yay. My oh my.
Zip.
Wonderful day.
Zip.
Splish Splash.
Today, we take a trip to our Laugh-In Place to take a look at Splash Mountain at Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, and Tokyo Disneyland. Inspired by the 1946 film Song of the South, Splash Mountain was and still is one of the most popular and recognizable theme park attractions ever created by Disney. With the retheming to Tiana's Bayou adventure opening on November 15th, 2024, Splash Mountain now sits as part of Disneyland park history. Let's take a look back and splash down into the history of this iconic attraction. Before we take a look at the attraction itself, let's take a look at the area it's located in, Critter Country. Back in July of 1956, 1 year after the opening of Disneyland, this area of the park was the Indian Village. Disney used tribal consultants to create displays and practice rituals that were passed down through individual tribal customs. The Indian Village presented the culture, customs, and arts of Native Americans, including teepees, totem poles, and a burial ground. By 1972, the area would be rethemed to Bear Country with the arrival of the Country Bear Jamboree show. Over the next 15 years, not much would change in this area of the park, and new ideas were needed to revitalize it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the park, America's Sings would open on June 29, 1974. The show was created to celebrate the upcoming bicentennial in 1976. It was a musical revue with 114 singing animals singing over 40 musical numbers, including Yankee Doodle, Joy to the World, and Old Chisholm Trail. After the bicentennial came and went, the attraction was getting stale. In 1983, Disney Imagineer Tony Baxter was stuck in rush hour traffic and started to think of ways to attract more guests to the Bear Country area of the park, along with uses for the America Sings animatronics. Then President of Disney Attractions Dick Nunis originally suggested a log flume ride, but most of the Imagineers pushed away the idea, thinking that it was not the type of ride system up to Disney's standards. Taking all of these factors into consideration, Baxter thought of Song of the South. Released in November of 1946, Song of the South, based on the Uncle Remus stories as adapted by Joel Chandler Harris, would garner a cloud of controversy for Disney due to the film's stereotypical depictions of African Americans post-Civil War. This controversy would stick with the property from its initial release in the 1940s all the way up until modern day. Another inspiration for the attraction may have been the Tales of Okefenokee ride over at Six Flags Over Georgia. This attraction opened in 1967 and was based on the Uncle Remus stories as well. Tony Baxter has stated that he did ride the attraction a few times before it closed in 1980. Baxter and his team would design the Zip-a-Dee River Run to incorporate scenes and characters from Song of the South, including Brer Rabbit. In 1984, new CEO Michael Eisner attended a presentation from the Imagineers to see what attractions they could create in order to get more attendance at the theme parks. Baxter pitched both Star Tours and Zip-a-Dee River Run. Eisner loved the ideas for both attractions, but as the story goes, Eisner asked for the name of the ride to be changed in order to promote the upcoming film Splash starring Tom Hanks. He also asked for a mermaid to be added to the attraction, but the Imagineers refused. The ride was announced to the public in January of 1987. In 1988, America Sings would close in order to repurpose those animatronics for the new ride. Bear Country would be renamed to Critter Country in anticipation of Splash Mountain. The attraction was built out of concrete so it could stand up to the dampness of the water contained in the ride. The mountain would stand at 76 feet with a final drop of 52.5 feet at a 47-degree angle. Guests would descend the final drop at a speed of 40 miles per hour. Splash Mountain was originally planned to open in January of 1989, but was delayed to mid-February due to technical issues. The ride opening was delayed again delayed to mid-July due to boat problems. Test riders made up of company executives were getting soaked rather than lightly sprayed, so the boats were redesigned to be lighter, hold up to 7 passengers instead of 8, and to have underwater scoops to keep the water from leaking in. Splash Mountain would open on July 17, 1989, Disneyland's 34th birthday. It would cost Disney $75 million or $190 million in today's money to build the attraction, the most expensive attraction ever built by Disney up to this point.
The picture you are seeing is coming to you from Splash Mountain at Critter Country in Disneyland, where we're about to witness a momentous occasion in this place where so many historic moments have been celebrated. We are just minutes away from a feat some have compared with Alan Shepard's first ride into space or Neil Armstrong's walk on the moon. We're about to see daredevil consultant and world-renowned ride tester Ernest P. Worrell take the maiden voyage on Disneyland's newest attraction, Splash Mountain.
At this moment, we ask that squeamish or sensitive adults turn their eyes from the screen.
In 1991, work would begin on the Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland versions of the attraction. They would open one day apart from each other, with Tokyo on October 1st and Magic Kingdom on October 2nd, 1992. The photo taken on the final drop was added to Disneyland in 1990. As guests walk towards the attraction, they can see the final drop and logs plunging into the Briar Patch. Once they make their way through the queue, guests board 6 to 7 seater logs with single file seats. The logs ascend 2 conveyor-type lifts before floating gently towards the homes of 3 main characters, Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and Brer Bear. An instrumental version of How Do You Do emanates from hidden speakers. The logs make their first drop down Slip and Falls, and into the first indoor portion of the ride, where animatronic geese and frogs sing How Do You Do. Rounding a corner, riders see Brer Bear caught in a trap where Brer Fox berates him. Brer Rabbit, seen outside his briar patch, tells Brer Turtle that he is leaving home in search of adventure and heading for his Laugh-In Place. The log would then go down a second drop into the Rainbow Caverns. Other animals such as chickens, storks, a goose, and a turkey sing Everybody's Got a Laugh-In Place. Brer Fox then manages to trap Brer Rabbit in a beehive. The mood turns to much more ominous as 2 mother characters, a possum and rabbit, sing Burrow's Lament as a warning to their children. At the base of the final lift hill, 2 vultures taunt the riders. The logs begin the final ascent, and shortly before the attraction's climactic drop, Brer Rabbit is seen alongside the hill, about to be eaten by Brer Fox. But Brer Rabbit outsmarts Brer Fox and Brer Bear, tricking them into throwing him into the Briar Patch. Riders are sent down into the final drop, right into the Briar Patch itself, mimicking his fall. An on-ride photo is taken right as the log begins to fall. After the drop, the log enters the final section, which features a paddle wheel steamboat, where the cast of animals are singing Zippity-Doo-Dah. Brer Rabbit reclines safely back at home. As the guests leave the attraction, they have the option to preview and purchase their photo from the final drop. Next to the ride was the Briar Patch gift shop. It sold various types of memorabilia based around the attraction, including pins, plush characters, t-shirts, and much more. The attraction lasted 9 minutes and 18 seconds in total. After opening in 1989, Splash Mountain was an instant success and drove increased attendance to Disneyland. The ride was praised for its unique mix of log flume ride system, music, audio animatronics, and theming. When the attraction opened at Tokyo and the Magic Kingdom, the logs would be changed to be 8-passenger logs seated 2 by 2, unlike Disneyland where they are seated 1 by 1. These versions of the ride would also include Brer Frog as a narrator at the beginning lift hill. Walt Disney's version would be 10.5 minutes long, while Tokyo's would come in exactly at 10 minutes. In June of 2020, it would be announced that the US versions of the ride would be receiving a new theme based around Disney's 2009 film, The Princess and the Frog. The Magic Kingdom version of Splash Mountain closed on January 23rd, 2023, while the Disneyland version closed on May 31st of the same year. After many years with Song of the South being a controversial topic for Disney, it was time to update the attraction to fit modern times. The new ride, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, opened on June 28th, 2024 at the Magic Kingdom, and is scheduled to open on November 15th, 2024 at Disneyland. When the retheme was announced, online resellers made their ways to the park to buy as much Splash Mountain merchandise as possible to feed the influx of people looking to hold onto a piece of the original attraction. At the time of retheming, Splash Mountain was still considered one of the best and most exciting attractions at their respective parks. While Brer Rabbit may have moved out of the Briar Patch, it is exciting to see the future of this attraction with the technological achievements the Imagineers have been able to accomplish. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the history of Splash Mountain. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments below what topics you would like us to discuss next. Have a zippity-doo-dah day, and as always, keep on collecting.
Now open Splash Mountain at Disneyland.